Yo, what up, everyone? It's your boy, just a normal 27-year-old guy here talking about building wealth and getting your life together in your 20s. Today, we re-diving straight into 5 ways to make 10K a month or more in 2025. I'm not gonna lie, I was a total mess with money in my early 20s. I was a full-on spendthrift, always buying stuff I didn't need, and honestly had some small debts piling up. I had zero plan for my money or my future. It was a pretty confusing and hazy time, not gonna lie, but then I had this oh shit moment where I realized my 20s were going to set the stage for the rest of my life. So I started learning about personal finance, kicked my bad spending habits to the curb, and things slowly but surely started to click. Now, I am debt free, got my emergency fund stacked, and I am all about steady saving and low risk investments. My career and my life are finally on track. I am not here to tell you I am some finance expert or a rich dude. I am just a guy who's been through it, and I want to share what I've learned from my own screw-ups and wins. So let's get right into it, because these are some serious game changers. Number 1, and this is exactly what I did, so I highly recommend it for just getting quick cash and stacking your first 100 grand or more. It's freelancing what you already doing in your 9 to 5. Oh man, this is incredible, especially if you are working in tech or sales or really any kind of corporate 9 to 5 job where you are providing a service. Ideally, you can take your company S services or even products. But for me, it was all about services, and then go out and start your own thing for a handful of clients. You not just looking to replace your job income, you aiming to make even more with way more time freedom doing the exact same thing. You don't need to reinvent the wheel here. We not starting some brand new complicated business. You literally just either working with your own book of business and saying, hey, if I was to start this on my own, can I go do it? And 9 out of 10 times, you refine. You can even get your boss ES blessing or your company S blessing if you really need to. This is how I built the majority of my wealth. Seriously, I was doing lead generation for specific verticals. And we worked with real estate agents, for example. I did that exact same thing, and it has gone extremely well. The skills that I learned there, I just applied to my own thing over the first couple of years that I was doing this. Again, this is more of an intro video to more videos in the future where I will break down everything that I've done in detail. But number 1 is the reason it's S. Number 1, because it's a lot easier to get started than just doing something brand new. Trust me on that one. Number 2, and this kind of segues into that, if you don't work in a job like that, that is totally fine. No stress. I recommend learning the sales skill set and closing deals for other people's online businesses. Ideally, something with a high ticket or a high cost, and you are taking a 20 to 25% commission. The way I've been told this by many of my mentors, and it totally makes sense, is like if you get other people rich, they are typically more than happy to pay you 10 to 20% of that, especially if you redoing all the legwork just fulfilling. So you able to get other people rich. And in return, you going to get around wealthier people. They going to be willing to pay you for that. And it works out extremely well. So I would do like info product businesses or people who sell online products like coaching or programs, whether it's around fitness, dating, things like that. Those are extremely expensive, and people buy that very easily. And when you get on a sales call with someone, you could do this very easily within obviously 6 to 12 months of practice. I'd say 3 to 6 months of practice of mock calls and a lot of coaching and being within a good organization, a good company with good training. You can do this. Trust me, I am going to do a separate video on sales as well in the future and how important and how much it has shaped my entire life. It is truly a foundational skill. Number 3. This one a little bit more gritty, not gonna lie, but it's extremely profitable, stupidly profitable if you know what you're doing. This is removal services. Think junk removal, snow removal, just general landscaping if you want more experience. If you can find a buddy or two to do this. Tree removal, people have very big money for this, a lot of money for this. If you willing to go to more high-end neighborhoods, obviously in or around you, you going to have to do this in person. That's why I said it. It's a little bit more gritty. But you can do extremely well because there's obviously less competition for businesses like this. And it's a good way to get your foot in the door again. What does this come down to? Sales. This is why it's so damn important to learn sales because of this very reason. So I would highly recommend doing that. These services are always in demand. And if you provide good quality work, word spreads fast. You can easily charge premium prices for your time and effort, especially for those tougher jobs. I've seen guys making serious bank just hauling away old couches or clearing snow after a big storm. It is not glamorous, but it pays. Number 4, this kind of goes into another more gritty one, but I've had a buddy of mine who's making 23 grand a month doing this in my local neighborhood. And that's flipping high ticket items. Think furniture, art, cars. Now, cars obviously need, some insurance and some licenses and whatnot to go there, but it's not that crazy. This is obviously 100% in person, but if you redoing it right and selling the right items, it could be extremely profitable. 10K a month is not very much outside of the picture if you knowing how to do this right. So be careful on what you sell here. Obviously, you don't want to be dealing with like $100 chair or something like that. Find big items if you need to. What I've done for people is if you don't you have, a couple grand to fork up, find someone who either does or just better yet, try to find the end buyer for that saying, hey, I might not be interested in this myself. Like say you re-on Marketplace or you re-on Craigslist or something, say, hey, I might not be interested in this myself, but if I was to find a buyer for it, would you be, able to cut me 25%? 30%. Again, coming down to sales, but of course, it's no-brainer for me, for the owner of that said item, they going to be happy to pay you. And if you can, fulfill this and just match the difference. There are marketplaces like this that exist, right? You going to be able to do that. So that is huge. It's all about spotting undervalued goods and knowing where to sell them for a profit. You got to have a good eye and be willing to negotiate, but the margins can be insane. I've seen people turn a few $100 into thousands just by flipping one piece of furniture. It is wild what people will pay for the right item. Number 5, this one kind of goes into number 1 a little bit, and at S more so if you want like a little bit less stress. At S, just consult on the knowledge you already have, right? Charge $100 to $300 per HR. So you are unfortunately selling your time for money. But if you able to just stack cash for 6 to 12 months and you need that S totally fine. That S a total win here, right? So maybe even less if you're restarting out. But trust me, people are willing to pay for knowledge that you would never even think of in a million years, right? I am talking like fitness or religion or just different things that you have in your brain that you may not think are valuable because you so used. You so conditioned to just think that way or do those said things, but you don't realize people are not in your position. People don't have your mindset or your knowledge, right? So they be willing to pay you a very nice, healthy amount to get there. So again, think of, just getting on marketplaces like Fiverr or Upwork and building yourself a nice profile, even LinkedIn, right? Just getting out there at least publicly. You need eyeballs, right? You need people to know. You can have all this knowledge, but if it was based on knowledge, I've heard this somewhere. And I like to say it, if it S based on knowledge, everyone would be a billionaire. Everyone would have a six-pack. It's not based on that, right? This world is based on eyeballs and attention. You need to get out there and let people know of you as whether a brand, as a person of services and products that you can sell, right? It's all about packaging what you already know and presenting it in a way that is valuable to others. Maybe you really good at organizing, or you have a knack for social media, or you can teach someone how to bake the perfect sourdough. Whatever it is, someone out there needs that knowledge and is willing to pay for it. Don't underestimate your own expertise, seriously. So again, 1 through 5, freelance what you already doing. Number 2, if you don't work a job like that, close deals for other people. S, businesses. Number 3, extremely profitable removal services. Number 4, flipping higher ticket items. Obviously getting them on Marketplace, Craigslist, that kind of stuff. And number 5, consult on knowledge you already have. These are extremely lucrative. Like I said, I'm going to do a separate video on number 1, which is exactly how I built the majority of my wealth. The majority of my net worth was just cash flow from a business that I had doing this exact same thing. So again, any questions, please either comment or send me an email. I am going to link an email below here that I want to start taking direct questions in. And other than that, there's going to be a ton more in detail on every single one of these videos, going super deep into how I actually did it and how you can too. I appreciate your time and thank you. Peace out.